I met Mrs. Eleanor, a 72-year-old retired teacher from Ohio. She told me something that stayed in my mind for weeks. Dr. Wilson, my hands feel like they're buzzing with electricity every morning, and my legs, they feel like jelly. I just thought it was part of getting old. We sat in my office as the snow fell outside, and I gently explained to her that what she was feeling wasn't just getting old. It was her body quietly telling her, I'm missing something important. And no, it wasn't another pill or a new surgery. It was something as simple and as powerful as the food on her plate. You see, after 60, our bodies start losing one of the most important building blocks that keep us moving, thinking and living without paying collagen. Collagen isn't just about smooth skin. It's the glue that holds your joints together, keeps your nerves firing properly, and makes your muscles and bones work in harmony. Without it, even simple things like buttoning a shirt, climbing stairs, or opening a jar can feel harder every year. In this video, I'm going to take you through 8 simple, delicious snacks that are packed with collagen and, more importantly, the science behind why they can help you wave goodbye to tingling hands, bring strength back to your legs, and let you feel more like yourself again. And I promise you this, you won't just walk away with recipes. You'll understand exactly how and when to eat these snacks, the mistakes to avoid, and how to make them a joyful part of your day, not another chore. So let's start this journey together, because your golden years should be strong, pain-free, and full of life. And that can start with the very next bite you take. The hidden link between tingling hands, weak legs, and collagen loss. A few months ago, I met Mr. Harold, a 69-year-old former firefighter. He came into my clinic holding his coffee cup with both hands. I asked him why, and he chuckled, "Doc, if I don't, I'll drop it. My fingers feel like they're asleep all the time, and my legs, well, they just don't have the strength they used to." Many people think this is just getting old, but here's the truth. It's often a sign that your body is running low on collagen, one of the most important proteins we have. Collagen is like the scaffolding of a building. It's what keeps your joints stable, your muscles connected, your nerves protected, and your skin flexible. By the time we hit 60, our natural collagen production can drop by more than 50%. That's a big reason why movements become stiff, balance gets shaky, and that tingling in your hands or weakness in your legs starts showing up. And it's not just about joints. When collagen levels drop, the protective sheaths around your nerves, think of them like the insulation on an electric wire, can thin out. This makes nerve signals weaker and less efficient, leading to sensations like pins and needles, numbness, or that jelly leg feeling. Harold's case was a perfect example. Once we added collagen-rich foods and a few vitamin C-packed snacks into his daily routine, within 8 weeks he told me, "Doc, I carried my grandkid up the porch steps without holding the railing. First time in years." The lesson here, tingling hands and weak legs aren't always a sign of irreversible aging. Sometimes they're your body's way of whispering, "I need my building blocks back." And the beautiful thing is, you can give them back naturally. In the next part, we're going to start with a snack that feels indulgent but works like medicine for your joints, nerves, and energy: rich, velvety, dark chocolate almond goji clusters. And trust me, you'll want to hear why this little treat is far more powerful than it looks. These dark chocolate almond goji clusters are so good, you'd never guess they're also working hard to support your joints and muscles. Let me explain. Years ago, I had a patient named Linda, 66, a retired librarian, sweet smile, and an unapologetic chocoholic. When she first came to see me, she confessed, "Dr. Wilson, I have a piece of chocolate every night, but I know it's bad for me." I smiled and told her, "It depends on the chocolate." Because here's the thing, real dark chocolate, the kind with at least 70 to 85% cacao, is packed with powerful compounds called flavonols and proanthocyanidins. These antioxidants don't just help your heart. They actually encourage your body to repair itself from the inside out. They protect existing collagen from damage and help create new stem cells that can turn into the tissues your body needs. Healthy joints, strong muscles, even better nerve function. Now, when you pair that dark chocolate with almonds, you're adding amino acids, the raw materials your body uses to build collagen. Toss in goji berries, And you're adding vitamin C, which acts like the spark plug that kicks collagen production into gear. So here's what I told Linda to do. Melt about 1 ounce of high-quality dark chocolate. Stir in a handful of roasted almonds and a teaspoon of dried goji berries. Drop spoonfuls onto a plate, let them set. And you've got a treat that feels decadent but is quietly working behind the scenes, easing inflammation, nourishing your joints, and giving your nerves what they need to stay healthy. A few weeks later, Linda came back grinning. "Doc, I still get my nightly chocolate, but now it feels like I'm doing something good for myself." And her morning stiffness had eased, and she felt more steady walking up and down her stairs. Now, here's another snack that's like a fun trip down memory lane, but with an anti-inflammatory twist. You'll love these gelatin fruit bites. They taste like fruity pebbles, but they actually packed with bone-building collagen and the minerals your body needs to keep your joints running smoothly. Let me walk you through it. Okay, picture this. You're at the grocery store. You find the gelatin, but where are the fruits? Well, they're right there in the produce section, hiding in plain sight. All you need are some vibrant veggies and fruits that you love. Think berries, mangoes, citrus fruits, even melons. Chop them up, blend them with a little water, then add your gelatin. You'll want to use 1 packet for every 1 cup of fruit you chop up. Get that mixture simmering on the stove. As soon as it starts to thicken, you're ready to pour. I like to use silicone ice cube trays, but you can use any small dish. Cover it up and pop it in the fridge for a couple of hours. What you'll end up with are cubes or pieces of fruit leather that not only look beautiful, they actually support your joints and muscles. And that's a snack you can feel good about eating. Gelatin fruit bites, pre-workout joint protector. A few summers ago, I met Robert, 71 years old, a retired postal worker who still loved his morning walks around the neighborhood. But he told me, "Doc, I've had to cut my walks short. My knees just ache too much." We talked about his routine, and I asked if he'd ever tried adding a collagen boost before his walks. He looked puzzled. That's when I explained the magic of gelatin, essentially collagen that's been broken down so your body can absorb it quickly. It's rich in amino acids like glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline, the exact ones your body uses to rebuild cartilage and connective tissue. There is even research showing that when people consumed gelatin with vitamin C about an hour before exercise, they had up to 37% less joint pain over time. That's not just comfort, that's mobility, independence, and confidence coming back. So here's what I had Robert do. Warm up a cup of tart cherry juice. Not boiling, just steaming, and stir in 2 tablespoons of unflavored powdered gelatin until it's dissolved. Then fold in a handful of fresh berries and a few chopped walnuts. Pour it into a small dish, let it set in the fridge, and the next morning, cut it into bite-sized cubes. The tart cherry juice brings antioxidants that fight inflammation, the berries add vitamin C to jumpstart collagen production, and the walnuts offer healthy fats to support joint lubrication. And because gelatin is already pre-digested collagen, your body can start putting it to work almost immediately. 3 weeks later, Robert told me, "Doc, I'm back to doing my full loop, and I even stopped to chat with neighbors without worrying about my knees." The lesson here: when you prepare your body with the right nutrients before you move, you're not just reacting to pain, you're preventing it. That's the kind of proactive care that keeps you active well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. Now, let's move to something that's been around for generations. Simmering on kitchen stoves, and turns out to be one of the most powerful collagen sources you can make at home: chicken bone broth bites. Bone broth bites? Grandma's recipe meets modern science. When I was a boy, my grandmother used to have a big pot simmering on the stove almost every Sunday. The smell of onions, carrots, and chicken bones would fill the kitchen. At the time, I thought it was just comfort food. Years later, as a doctor, I realized she was serving up one of the most potent collagen boosters known to mankind: bone broth. Bone broth is made by simmering chicken, beef, or turkey bones for hours, sometimes 8 to 12, with a splash of vinegar to help release the minerals and collagen locked inside. Over that slow cooking time, the collagen in the bones breaks down into gelatin, rich in amino acids like glycine and proline. These nutrients are essential for rebuilding cartilage, strengthening ligaments, and even helping damaged nerves repair themselves. One of my patients, Carol, age 74, had been struggling with stiff knees for years. She tried supplements, creams, even acupuncture. When I suggested adding half a cup of homemade chicken bone broth to her daily routine, she raised an eyebrow. "You mean like soup?" But she gave it a try. She kept jars in her fridge, reheating a small portion each morning and sometimes turning it into a savory bite by letting it gel in ice cube trays. After a month, she came back and said, "Doc, I didn't think a food could do this. My knees feel smoother and I don't dread standing up anymore." The lesson here, sometimes the old ways were right all along. What your grandmother simmered on the stove wasn't just comfort. It was science, long before we had the research to explain it. And bone broth isn't limited to a mug on a cold day. When cooled, it turns into a soft gel that can be cut into snack-sized portions, making it easy to get your daily collagen boost without even picking up a spoon. Up next, we'll trade the warm, savory comfort of broth for something bright, refreshing, and packed with the vitamin that switches on your collagen-making machinery, Cantaloupe Mint Pistachio Cups. Cantaloupe Mint Pistachio Cups, Vitamin C Power for Collagen. A few years ago, I met Diane, 68 years old, a retired school counselor who loved gardening. She told me, "Dr. Wilson, my knees feel like rusty hinges." I just assumed collagen supplements were the only answer. I smiled and said, "Before you think about supplements, let's talk about something growing right in your own garden, or at least in your grocery store produce aisle. Cantaloupe." Here's why. Your body can't make collagen without vitamin C. It's the spark that turns amino acids into the strong, flexible fibers your joints, skin, and nerves need. And just 1 cup of cantaloupe gives you about 2/3 of your daily vitamin C needs, all in a sweet, hydrating package. But we don't stop there. When you add fresh mint, you bring cooling compounds that can calm inflammation. And pistachios add healthy fats, fiber, and minerals that keep joints lubricated and blood sugar steady. This combination isn't just delicious, it's strategic. Here's what I suggested to Diane. Cut a ripe cantaloupe into bite-sized cubes. Drizzle with fresh lime juice for an extra vitamin C kick. Toss with a few torn mint leaves. And sprinkle with a small handful of chopped pistachios. She made a batch one summer afternoon and told me later, "Doc, it's like dessert that actually makes my knees feel better." The lesson here, building collagen isn't always about eating collagen itself. Sometimes it's about feeding your body the tools it needs to make its own, and vitamin C is one of the most important tools in the box. Next, we'll move from a sweet fruit to a humble kitchen staple that protects the collagen you already have. Tomatoes paired in a simple yet powerful caprese stack. Tomato caprese or avocado stacks lycopene to protect your collagen. A few summers back, I visited an old friend, Michael, who had recently moved to Florida. As we sat on his porch overlooking his little garden, he brought out a plate of fresh tomatoes layered with mozzarella and basil. "It's my new favorite snack," he said. I smiled, because I knew Michael was doing more than feeding himself. He was protecting the collagen in his body without even realizing it. You see, tomatoes are rich in lycopene, a powerful antioxidant that acts like a shield for your collagen. While vitamin C helps you make new collagen, lycopene helps you keep the collagen you already have by protecting it from oxidative damage, the kind that comes from stress, sun exposure, and the natural aging process. And here's a little tip. Lycopene becomes even more available to your body when tomatoes are slightly cooked or paired with healthy fats like extra virgin olive oil or avocado. That's why the classic caprese combination works so well. It's delicious and it's scientifically smart. Michael told me he sometimes swaps the mozzarella for avocado when he wants something dairy-free, and it works just as well. The olive oil helps your body absorb more lycopene, while the basil adds compounds that support digestion and reduce inflammation. The lesson here, protecting your collagen is just as important as producing it. By combining tomatoes with the right fats, you give your body the tools to hold on to its youthful scaffolding longer. And speaking of vitamin C powerhouses, our next snack comes from a tropical fruit that's actually one of the richest sources of this collagen-activating vitamin guava yogurt bowls. Guava yogurt bowl, the vitamin C champion not long ago. I had a patient named Teresa, 70 years old, who came to see me about her creaky hips and the tingling in her fingers. She told me she'd been eating an orange every morning for years, thinking it was the best way to get her vitamin C. I told her she was doing a good thing. But there's a fruit out there that can give her more than triple the vitamin C of an orange. Guava. Just 100 grams of guava, that's less than one whole fruit, can deliver over 200 milligrams of vitamin C. This isn't just helpful, it's essential. Without enough vitamin C, your body literally can't produce collagen, no matter how much protein you eat. That means joints stay stiff, skin loses elasticity, and nerves don't repair as efficiently. Now here's where it gets even better. When you combine guava with plain Greek yogurt, you're pairing collagen-activating vitamin C with muscle and bone-supporting protein, plus gut-friendly probiotics. It's a win on every level. I showed Teresa a simple recipe: dice a ripe guava, mix it into a bowl of plain Greek yogurt, add a drizzle of raw honey for natural sweetness, squeeze in a little fresh lime juice for an extra vitamin C boost, and top it with chopped almonds or walnuts for healthy fats and minerals. 3 weeks later, Teresa told me her morning stiffness had eased and the tingling in her hands wasn't waking her up at night anymore. And she loved that her breakfast felt like a treat instead of medicine. The lesson here: sometimes the most powerful changes come from simply upgrading what you already do. If you're already eating fruit in the morning, why not choose one that gives you the biggest return for your bite? And that brings us to a small but mighty fruit that can help with collagen production, nerve health, and even circulation: the kiwi nut crunch snack. Kiwi nut crunch, small fruit, big nerve support. A while back, I met George, a 73-year-old retired engineer. He was sharp as a tack, but he told me something was bothering him. "Doc, my hands feel like they've been asleep half the day. I can't even play cards with my buddies without dropping something." We talked about nerve health, and I told him about one of my favorite little nerve helpers, the kiwi. Don't let its small size fool you. This fuzzy fruit is loaded with vitamin C for collagen production, potassium to support nerve signal transmission, and fiber to keep blood sugar steady. That combination helps keep the protective sheaths around nerves healthy and ensures those nerve messages get where they need to go. The recipe I shared with George was simple. Slice up 2 ripe kiwis, sprinkle a handful of toasted almonds or walnuts on top, and, for an extra boost to circulation, add a pinch of chili flakes or a light sprinkle of cinnamon. That little kick doesn't just add flavor. It helps improve blood flow, which is essential for both nerves and muscles. 2 weeks later, George called me and said, "Doc, I just played a full round of cards without fumbling once. My friends think I've been practicing." The lesson here: sometimes it's the smallest, simplest foods that make the biggest difference, especially when you pair them with the right partners. And speaking of powerful partners, our final snack combines a tropical favorite with a special enzyme that fights inflammation and helps your body repair itself from the inside out: pineapple macadamia bites. Pineapple macadamia bites bromelain for inflammation relief. Not long ago, I met Margaret, a 75-year-old grandmother who loved baking but had started avoiding it because standing for long periods made her knees ache. She told me, "I just can't handle the swelling anymore, Doc. Even a short walk leaves me stiff." I introduced her to one of my favorite inflammation-fighting foods: fresh pineapple. Pineapple contains an enzyme called bromelain, which works deep inside your body to help break down inflammatory compounds. Combine that with its natural vitamin C, and you've got a double team that supports collagen repair while calming the swelling that makes movement painful. But here's the trick: you want fresh pineapple, not canned. Canning destroys most of the bromelain, so you lose the very thing that makes it special. I gave Margaret this easy recipe: cut fresh pineapple into bite-sized chunks, mix with a handful of buttery macadamia nuts for healthy fats and protein, then sprinkle lightly with cinnamon and add a few fresh mint leaves. The cinnamon helps balance blood sugar and adds its own anti-inflammatory properties, while mint soothes digestion and gives a refreshing lift. After 3 weeks of enjoying this snack in the afternoons, Margaret told me she could get through her baking days without needing to sit down every half hour. "It feels like someone took the sand out of my joints," she said with a laugh. The lesson here, sometimes easing pain and stiffness isn't about pushing through. It's about giving your body the tools to heal itself quietly in the background. And now that we've explored 9 powerful snacks, let us tie it all together in our final section, where I'll show you how to fit these into your daily routine. The best times to eat them, and a few safety tips so you can enjoy them for years to come. How to make collagen work for you, timing, frequency, and safety over the years. I've seen many patients get excited about collagen-rich foods. They'll try everything at once: bone broth in the morning, dark chocolate in the afternoon, kiwi before bed. But after a few weeks, some come back saying, "Doc, I don't feel much different." That's when I remind them, collagen isn't a quick fix. It's a building process, like repairing a house brick by brick. The timing and consistency of when and how you eat these snacks matters just as much as the snacks themselves. For example, having vitamin C-rich foods like guava, kiwi, or cantaloupe earlier in the day can give your body the raw materials it needs for collagen production when your metabolism is most active. Bone broth or gelatin snacks are great before gentle exercise because they provide amino acids right when your joints and muscles will use them. And anti-inflammatory choices like pineapple or dark chocolate work beautifully in the afternoon or evening, helping your body recover overnight. In terms of frequency, most people do well with 1 to 2 collagen-supporting snacks per day. Rotate them throughout the week so you're getting a variety of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, not just collagen. And then there's safety. If you have diabetes, watch the natural sugars in fruits like pineapple or mango. If you have kidney issues, talk to your doctor about your protein needs before dramatically increasing collagen-rich foods. And always choose fresh, whole ingredients over heavily processed collagen snacks from the store, which often hide excess sugar, salt, or preservatives. One of my patients, Alan, started with just one change: bone broth in the morning, 3 days a week. Within 2 months, he added kiwi almond snacks twice a week and swapped his evening cookie for dark chocolate clusters. 6 months later, he told me, "Doc, I feel like I'm building myself back, piece by piece," and he was right. The lesson here, collagen support is a long game. It's about creating small, sustainable habits that, over time, restore your body's strength, flexibility, and comfort. And now that you have these tools, 9 delicious, science-backed snacks plus the knowledge of how to use them, you can start today. Because your golden years aren't just about adding years to your life. They're about adding life to your years. If there's one thing I've learned in over 30 years of practicing medicine, it's this: your body has an incredible capacity to heal and rebuild, no matter your age, when you give it the right tools. These 9 snacks aren't magic pills. They're small, consistent choices that add up over weeks and months, quietly repairing your joints, strengthening your nerves, and helping you feel more like yourself again. I want you to think about this. Which one of these snacks could you start with tomorrow? Just one, because you don't need to change everything at once. You just need to take the first step. And when you do, I'd love to hear your story. Leave a comment below and tell me which snack you're most excited to try, or share your own favorite healthy treat. This channel isn't just me talking to you. It's a community where we learn, grow, and age well together. If you found this video helpful, please tap the like button. It really helps more people find this information. And if you haven't yet, hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our next video. We've got more science-backed, heartwarming tips coming your way every week. Remember, you deserve to move without pain, to wake up with energy, and to enjoy every season of your life. And it can all start with your very next bite. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Senior Healthy.